The students were all registered for the same classes, and she said this is way beyond plagiarism. Because these patterns, typical answers to introductory prompts, jumbled spellings of common names, and by the way, other professors at other colleges noticed the same thing. So another way for her to know is all of a sudden there was a new surge connected to late start classes after she increased enrollment. And within 48 hours, the class filled up again. And that is way too fast an amount of time for a class to fill up. Unheard of. And so a lot of students are taking many of the same classes with the same teacher. And she said, oh no, there's something desperately wrong here. And so you now have a teacher. They're trying to figure out who these bot creators are. That's another one. So fake students applying on fake applications to get into school because based on school, you can get financial aid. And I mean, these are the unsophisticated ones, the ones that are easy to catch. Can you imagine how many out there are sophisticated enrollees of schools stealing people's identity? Yeah, it's crazy out there. It really is. All the negative side of the internet, and I point out both sides. The enormous influence, positive influence, life-changing influence of the internet, but you have to look at the other side too. San Francisco has a brand new answer for its drug problem. Yep, liberal San Francisco. What do they do? I'll cover that when we come back. KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Jennifer.
Former Trump ally Roger Stone will plead the fifth before the January 6th committee. The committee looking into the Capitol riot wants to question Stone today about his appearance at pro-Trump rallies the day before the attack. The curtain is closed again on another Broadway show. This time it's Moulin Rouge that closed because of a COVID outbreak. It canceled the performance last night as the crowd was already seated. I guess a negative test result came in late. And fans of the hit ABC show The Goldbergs have said goodbye to another character. Jeff Garlin, who plays the dad, is leaving because of investigations into his behavior on set and misconduct allegations. So you've got your drive on the 134 with DKFI in the sky next.
There's a bunch of ways to filter your water at home, but one of the best, in my opinion, the best way, is the Life Source Whole House Water Filtration System. High-end system providing delicious, safe water, chemical-free water, out of every faucet and shower, in your house. I mean, wherever there's water, you get this quality filtered water. And that's the Life Source system. It will reduce your hard water problems and scale buildup, filters out chlorine and any added chemicals from your water, and installed, there is no maintenance of any kind. This is effectively bottled water quality water. And so drinking it is easy to drink from a bottle. Are you going to wash your clothes, your dishes? Are you going to bathe in bottled water? That's effectively what you do. That's the Life Source Water Filtration System. Call 800-334-5009. Oh, once installed, no maintenance ever. You can forget about it. 800-334-5009. Visit lifesourcewater.com. Life Source Water, you can taste and feel the difference.
Let's take a look at your ride on the 134.
All right, just a little heads up for you now. If you're coming off the 210, where it magically changes numbers to the 134 around the Rose Bowl and continues west. A little bit of a problem to the shoulder. It's a rig. It's a big problem, actually. It's over to the shoulder. So just be careful as you go by. The drive from Pasadena into Glendale is all good. Stays that way over to the 5 and actually over to the 170. Now, I've got to warn you about two big problems. Again, we're kind of in the middle between both, but we're headed back to a bad problem we saw earlier this morning. San Fernando Valley, westbound 101 before Topanga. Only the left lane was open. Extreme delays now. Coming away from Balboa, we'll check all that for you. But the trick is to use anything to get out to the West Valley. Even get on Valley Circle, and you'll be okay. And then another problem going to the Cerritos. Eastbound 91 at Bloomfield. It's even worse. There's all traffic was bumped exit at Bloomfield. All lanes are shut down. And that's a fatal crash investigation. Just horrible. Backing up through the 605, getting on to Carmenita is the trick there. A lot more coming up. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman at superlawyer.com. Jeff Baum, KFI in the sky.
it's holiday shopping season again. Not many more shopping days to decide what I should buy myself. Now I'll get top reasons to visit Vermont.
Christmas Day dining deals. From Cielo to Good Times Cafe, we've got deals from the clouds to the casino floor.
Number 2.
Get a fancy Christmas roast Christmas Day.
And the number 1 reason.
12 days of Fabio. 60 winners in 12 days will win one of Fabio's kitchen essentials.
Morongo. Good times.
Cash offers for used cars have never been higher, and selling your car has never been easier. And it's all because of Roto. That's R-O-D-O. Not only is Roto the best place to buy a new car, but you can also sell your used car or current vehicle lease to Roto for quick payment. Roto makes the process fast, fair, and transparent. So, sell your car on the Roto app or at roto.com. That's R-O-D-O. The fastest way to sell your used car for more cash than ever before.
If we did everything the old-fashioned way. Hey, did you know who won the football game last night?
Hop an out and get a newspaper.
Well, that's how things work with home sellers. So we at Open Door invented a new way to sell your home. One without the hassles and hurdles of listings, showings, and unknowns. Just go to opendoor.com, enter your address, and tell us a little about your home. And Open Door will make you an offer in minutes. Sell your home the new fashioned way. Get your free offer at opendoor.com/myhome. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc. License 0206113, California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in Southern Market.
Invert your thinking with a free upgrade to the IQ8 microinverter, the world's only microinverter that provides instant energy backup during a power outage from Semper Solaris, your local veteran-owned solar and battery storage contractor. Here's veteran, founder and owner, Kelly Shawhan.
In the military, when you give your word, it just is your word. You work hard and keep your word, and that's what we do every single day. Heard about Semper Solaris and found out that they were veterans. I knew they were going to do the job right.
Add Tesla Powerwall and be ready for blackouts. We get the job done with esprit de corps and honor. Silver Solaris offers new heating and air conditioning systems with a lifetime warranty and new roofs with a 50-year warranty. Go solar American style with Semper Solaris. 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2023. Get the federal 26% solar and battery tax credit. Call 877-211-5591. That's 877-211-5591. Or visit SemperSolaris.com. IQ8 price the same as IQ7. 26% federal tax credit based on eligibility. Consult your tax advisor. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Some restrictions apply. New customers only. Call or see website for details. Expires 12/31/2021. CSW number 978-152.
We have a lot to celebrate this holiday season, but COVID-19 hasn't gone away. So let's make sure to keep our celebrations safer by following these tips. Get vaccinated to protect loved ones, and get a booster to keep your immunity strong. Wear a mask when it can protect you and others. And if possible, keep gathering small, short, and outdoors if you're uncertain of everyone's vaccination status. Bring on the cheer safely this year. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
You get all stressed out going to the dentist, so you end up not going for years because of bad experiences you've had. Cunning Dental specializes in people that have severe dental anxiety and in people that need major work from years of dental neglect. They will soothe you. They're very warm and caring, and they'll do the dental work while you sleep. They put you out with a gentle twilight sleep or a full anesthesia and repair years of neglect in 1 or 2 appointments. You wake up to a beautiful smile. Dental implants, crowns, root canals, smile makeovers, and new permanent teeth in a day. They've been rebuilding smiles for over 53 years. Now get $1,000 off major treatments and another $500 off your sleep treatment. This expires December 31st. No money down payment plans. Restrictions apply. Call Cunning Dental at 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE.
Cunning Dental, simply the best. Cunning Dental, simply the best.
Under the current municipal code, you cannot drink alcohol on any public street, in a restroom, a beach, a park, or parking lot.
But the code does not specify the city council chambers.
I think it would go better if you had a glass or 2 of wine.
Jerry and Shannon, weekdays at 10 a.m.
I think you'd be a nicer council person to your colleagues.
on KFI.
And good morning, Bill Handel here, as we're deep into the holiday season. Next week being Christmas. What, a week from tomorrow? Is that when Christmas is? Yeah, 25th. Yeah, I knew that. That is 25 of December. There is a terrific story out of San Francisco. Now, San Francisco has a reputation for a bunch of things. One of them being a city with one of the highest rates of overdoses in the U.S., and also one of the most liberal cities in the country. So they take drug overdoses and drug users and addicts a little bit different than they would, for example, in the South. Just a super liberal city. Well, here is what the mayor of San Francisco said. It is time to rein in our criminals, this reign of criminals who are destroying our city. It's time, and it has come to an end. It comes to an end when we take the steps to be more aggressive with law enforcement, more aggressive with changes in our policies, and less tolerant of all the BS, except she said it at a public press conference. Yeah, you know, that's pretty out there for a mayor of a major city. And so we're going to be less tolerant of all the BS that has destroyed our city. Bottom line is that San Francisco is a den of iniquity when it comes to drug dealing, especially in the Tenderloin area, which is one of the poorer areas where a lot of homeless people live and where drug addiction is right out there. I mean, having visited the Tenderloin a few times, I mean, it's right there. I mean, people are buying and selling. You know, it's almost like they're wearing sandwich boards, and there's a menu of the cost of drugs. So she outlined some measures the city's going to use. Sweeps by cops to arrest people with outstanding warrants, targeting drug dealers, banning street vending of any kind in certain areas, making it easier for cops to access camera footage from private businesses. Yep, they've gone conservative. The city of San Francisco, instead of accepting drug dealers and being compassionate, and it really isn't their fault, it's society's fault, and we have to deal with them on a humanitarian basis. The Mayor London Breed, said, no, we're done with that. This city is falling to pieces based on the amount of drug dealing that goes on. And of course, the opioid death rate and the fentanyl death rate, etc. And so she said also that the police, social workers, city employees are going to be interrupting open-air substance use. And they're going to do, now here's the humanitarian part. They're going to interrupt that. They're going to take drug dealers, drug users, and they'll take them to another site where they'll be connected with addiction treatment resources. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but she said, we're not giving people a choice anymore. We're not going to just walk up and let someone use in broad daylight on the street and not give them a choice to go either to the location or they're going to go to jail, which is pretty impressive. A professor of law and health sciences at Northeastern, Leo Beletsky, said that the Tenderloin has already been the subject of federal state policing, a blitz since 2019, and it hasn't worked. So here we now have social scientists, academics, who are saying, nope, that's not the answer. What? You let these drug dealers do what they do? Okay, we'll do outreach, but what if they just say no? There's no punishment at all. And he said that increased enforcement only incentivizes drug suppliers to create more products to achieve more bang for their buck, and that is what led to the proliferation of fentanyl. And he goes on. See, now we're talking San Francisco, right? Arresting dealers can also be dangerous as it forces people to source drugs from unknown sources. And that increases the rate of overdose, and that creates a power vacuum if those dealers are not on the corners anymore, and that can lead to more violence because there's a power vacuum. I mean, this is typical humanitarian, social science views that are insane. I mean, effectively he's arguing we have to let them keep on selling and using drugs because look at all the negatives. Whoa. There's a program director at the Pharmacy Addictions Research and Medicine Program, University of Texas, okay, another one of those organizations. And he said, and this one I just absolutely love, he said that a San Francisco that is more aesthetically pleasing means there aren't drug dealers on the corners and open selling and using of drugs. I mean, right there. And the Tenderloin is really a miserable area. It is. A lot of garbage on the streets, a lot of homeless tent encampments. I mean, just miserable. And a lot of drug use, of course. And he said that a San Francisco that is more aesthetically pleasing, a lack of all of those, is really for the richest and most influential residents. That's why the argument is these drug dealers and users should be off the street. Okay, hang on a minute. Certainly the rich and influential residents are going to take the benefit of getting these folks off the street. But the middle class is not. The business owners in the Tenderloin are not. Non-drug users are not going to get the benefit of this. I mean, that's how crazy San Francisco will be. But the mayor, God bless her, she's saying enough of this crapola. We're done. We now have to get into policing because that's what works. I mean, unfortunately, the reality of crime and the statistics are real simple. The more cops are out there, the crime rate lessens. That's it. There's no evidence that the social work model helps at all. There is no record that, for example, needle exchanges work at all in reducing any kind of drug addiction. There's plenty of evidence that says more crime, you put more cops on the street, it becomes less crime. Not very complicated. All right, we know that interest rates are going to be rising. I mean, that's a given. The Fed has already said 3 times that they'll raise interest rates 3 times. Who's the big winner on this one? I mean, we all lose, but there's one group that is going to just score. And I'll dive into that when we come back. KFI AM 640, let's check in with Jennifer.
A deal has been reached to get hundreds of sanitation employees back to work in Anaheim and Huntington Beach this morning. The strike started last week, and Teamsters spokesman Adon Alvarez says employees have been anxious to get back to work, but the contract negotiations took a while to work out.
So instead of bargaining with them fairly, they engaged in unfair labor practices, including threats against our members, simply for participating in their local union and voicing their concerns.
Republic Services has said it respects its employees' collective bargaining rights. News is brought to you by Pure Water. 3 men from Orange County have been arrested along with another man as part of a federal investigation into kickbacks at substance abuse treatment centers. The Justice Department has charged 10 people in the case. Prosecutors say facility owners would assign a value to patients depending on their insurance, then paid recruiter kickbacks for each patient the recruiters referred to their treatment site. A local fisherman has been convicted of poaching spiny lobsters near Palos Verdes and San Pedro.
L.A. City Attorney Mike Fewer says lobster fishing in L.A. is big business.
We've got stringent lobster fishing laws for a reason. We have to ensure that we're maintaining healthy and sustainable lobster populations. Those are essential to a healthy ecosystem.
Fewer says investigators seized the man's lobster traps and lobsters. The man must also pay fines, perform community service. He's also forbidden to use his boat for fishing. Fewer says the man was already serving a 36-month probation for a previous poaching conviction. Steve Gregory, KFI News.
A man in his 20s has been killed during an argument with a driver in Mission Hills. Police say the man had been walking with a relative yesterday when a dark-colored car pulled up. The guy got out, argued with the man walking, then shot him. China has criticized the U.S. over a law passed in the Senate that bars imports from a region in China unless businesses can prove the items were produced without forced labor. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman says the measure shows the U.S. has no scruples about smearing China by every means. President Biden also announced new sanctions yesterday targeting several Chinese biotech and surveillance companies. And Las Vegas will ring in the new year with the return of its fireworks show on the Strip. The show was canceled last year because of the pandemic, but officials say the annual display is normally one of the state's biggest events. The New Year's Eve fireworks normally draws about 300,000 people to the Strip. We're watching your drive on the 101 and getting an update there.
Boy, you betcha it's not good, unfortunately. Now, but both of the incidents I'm about to tell you about will definitely make you late. Now, first, San Fernando Valley. If you headed west out towards Calabasas or west of, want to give you the Holston and first or the way around it first. You want to get on the West 101 at Topanga or west of at the Valley Circle. Westbound before Topanga, since pre-dawn, only one lane has been opened instead of 5. It is a parking lot all the way back to White Oak. It'll be back to the 405 before you know it. That's an immense amount of time. Now, Ventura Boulevard got used it pretty quick, as did Burbank. A good surface street. Maybe you want to go all the way up to Victory. Take that out to Valley Circle. That'll help you. And another huge problem, Cerritos. Eastbound 91 up Bloomfield. That's east of the 605. The fatal crash investigation. All lanes are blocked there with a backup going way through the 605. Also, the might close it down, but going south 605 to east 91, that's another parking lot. A little better news for the drive on the 210. There was a problem at Irwindale now. That's before the 605. So real slow coming off the hill of Citrus. But once you get past that, pretty good drive into Pasadena. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Jeff Barr, KFI in the sky.
LA Kings goalie Jonathan Quick had 41 saves against the Florida Panthers, while Arthur Kalia put the carry on LA's offense ice cream Sunday.
Well, every battle with Kalia for position. Lizdot gets it out of the zone. He has Lemieux with him. Couldn't control the puck. Kept alive by Kalia. Kalia to the middle. He scores! Arthur Kalia buries it.
Final score, Kings 4, Panthers 1. The Ducks get the Arizona Coyotes today at 7. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
The holidays are here. Time to have friends and family over for seasonal festivities. Oh, wait, your yard's an embarrassment. Save the season with a new Tough Turtle Turf yard. The transformation will amaze family and friends. Tough Turtle Turf is incredibly durable. Imagine the added living space and all the extra room to play. Add a fire pit and cozy up. Who knows? Santa may stick around for a burger. No more mowing. Use water bills or ruined weekends. Let our design specialists create a beautiful escape for all seasons. And with all the money you'll save on maintenance and water bills, Tough Turtle Turf will pay for itself. Transform your yard from eyesore to oasis this holiday season. For a limited time, get your new yard with 0 down, 0 interest for 12 months. Plus, we pay the tax. Call now, 888-665-2661, 888-665-2661, or visit ToughTurtleTurf.com today. On approved credit only. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other offers. New customers only. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. Expires 12/31/21. CSLB number 1073646. NFCB number 0086683.
From KFI, sunny today with highs in the low to mid-60s. Copy and paste that forecast for tomorrow. We should have some winds today and tomorrow as well. Then it looks like our next chance at rain comes in Tuesday through Thursday of next week. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
I suggest you take a hard look at the interest rates you're paying on your credit cards, car loans, or anything else. With today's low mortgage rates and rising home values, why not refinance with Owning? Pull some cash out of your home and take control of high-interest debt. Call Owning at 8332-OWNING or log on to owning.com. In minutes at no cost or obligation, our experienced agents can tell you how much money you have sitting in your house. Then refinance at today's 30-year fixed 2.5% rate, 2.731 APR. And use some of that low-interest money to pay off debts, do things around the house, or for anything you want. Your house may be your piggy bank.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation in the County Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approved for qualified borrowers. Call 833-303-2161 for terms and conditions. Equal housing lender.
Call Owning at 8332-OWNING or log on to owning.com. That's 8332-OWNING or go to owning.com.
Slew out your way through this holiday season with the LA Kings Holiday Pass. Each pack includes 1 ticket to 3 or 5 LA Kings home games, plus a limited edition Drew Doughty Tropical Mug. To purchase, visit LAKings.com/holiday pass.
Living with someone who tested positive for COVID-19 in the past 5 days? Those 18 and over who are not vaccinated may be able to take part in a clinical trial for possible medications to prevent COVID-19. This trial is not for a vaccine, and participation is voluntary. Participants will receive study-related care at no cost and may receive reimbursement for study-related time and travel. To learn more, visit COVIDMoveAhead.com. That's COVIDMoveAhead.com.
Sponsored by Merck.
Host the holidays with a little less stress. Order a holiday dinner from Stater Brothers. Choose from prime rib, Firefly ham, or turkey dinners, complete with rolls and delicious side dishes. Please order 48 hours in advance. Happy holidays from Stater Brothers Market.
There's red, blue, and then there's you. You're a free thinker and believe the best idea should win, no matter whose idea that is.
At KFI AM 640, we give you all the news you need and a variety of opinions. You make up your own mind.
Beholden to no one.
Live, local, and independent, KFI AM 640 is made for independent thinkers like you.
Good morning, Bill Handel here. On a Friday morning, December 17th, a couple of bits of news, big news that we're covering. First of all, the CDC panel that recommends to the CDC is recommending limiting your vaccines to Pfizer and Moderna, not the J&J shot, because of the risk, small risk of blood clots, particularly among young people. And coming up at 9 o'clock, Kelly Conway, whose brother is Tim Conway Jr. here on KFI. Well, even when he's on KFI, he's her brother. And it's a book about their dad that Kelly Conway wrote. And Tim Conway is one of the funniest men on the planet. Now, I want to go into, what am I doing? Banks. That's what it is. And so we're in the midst of inflation hitting us basically in the butt. And a lot of us are going to suffer. There was just a Fox News survey, because that was a grain of salt, or any of the cable news operators. And they said 67% of Americans have already been affected by inflation, much less scared by inflation. So who are the big winners with winners of inflation? And we're talking about even a tiny percentage. The banks. Now, the Fed yesterday or Wednesday said they were prepared to raise interest rates at least 3 times next year in response to inflation. Way faster timeline than was expected. And so for the nation's biggest banks, boy, you talk about winning, a small increase in the benchmark rate that the Fed establishes, where the money is borrowed, the banks borrow money against the Fed, is going to increase billions of dollars in revenue for these banks. And why? Because banks can charge more interest because of inflation, but they're not likely to pay depositors more, or it comes way after the fact. Also, banks are sitting on a giant pile of cash that aren't earning any returns right now, and so some of the bankers, the big boys, have said they're going to simply redeploy that money into securities as soon as interest rates rise. And the investors of banks are paying close attention. There are some issues, higher expenses for technology expansion, but not even close enough to stop the banks from making tons of money. Here are a few examples. Wells Fargo and Bank of America, loaded with U.S. deposits that are the most sensitive to changes in the interest rates. And both calculate they could earn more than $7 billion if there was a 1% raise. 1% point in short-term and long-term rates at the same time. So, J.P. Morgan estimates that they're going to get an additional $6.7 billion in revenue with 1% increase. And that bank, that was J.P. Morgan, brought in about $52 billion in net interest revenue in the past 12 months. I mean, the numbers are staggering. And Wall Street expects the per share, the earnings per share for the big banks are going to be 19% higher if, again, 1% is added to inflation. For Wells Fargo, I mean, that was, which bank was that? Big banks would be on average 9% higher. Wells Fargo is going to be a 38% increase. I mean, it's a 1% hit. And why do the banks win on this one? Well, they make their core profits from collecting more interest from borrowers and then they have to pay depositors. So it's not the credit cards, it's not the junk fees, which make up a ton of money, but their core business is simply loaning money out and charging a lot more money for the money that's there, that they loan, versus the money that they pay. I mean, it's really simple. You pay low and you make high. It's easy, but it's interesting that it's the banks that are going to score the biggest increase. And the last time that the increases happened was back in 2015, and from 2016 to 2018, net interest income for the banks grew 7 to 9% a year for those 2 years. And the experts saying it's going to happen again, except a lot bigger this time. The banks are simply swimming in deposits. They don't even know what to do with it. And far more than they were even a few years ago. They probably have more money now than they ever had. And the other thing with cash is, they're able to raise interest rates on loans really quickly. When people come to borrow money and they have tons of money to loan, and post-crisis regulations means that banks are holding more short-term loans, which can be repriced quicker for higher interest rates. And long-term, what does that mean? Well, they don't hold many 30-year mortgages. There just aren't that many around. So when you go to a mortgage broker, for example, people that advertise here on KFI, you're not going to the bank. I mean, you're going to a broker who then looks for a bank or a lending institution, and the good ones, of course, do great. And you do great with the good ones. At the same time, the banks had many of these 30-year mortgages, not anymore. Now they're going to go towards more auto and commercial loans, and those only last a few years, a lot less risk. And also, banks are holding more cash at the Fed. The banks bank with the Fed, and they can keep that money there. And J.P. Morgan says it has about $200 billion that can be shifted literally in a couple of days. Bank of America has $350 billion to move around. It's basically dry powder to be moved into investments when mortgage payments end and the mortgage ends up. They take the money, boy, and they just move it. They're not going to give you any more mortgage money. Again, big picture, but they're sure as hell going to loan you the money. That's what's going on. Inflation is going to hit us, but inflation hits the banks in a very positive way. Now, I want to go to Joe Biden's electric vehicle charging plan. It is massive. Put the chargers out there on the road. We're going to spend billions of dollars doing that all over the country. And there are some issues, problems, and technology issues that I want to share with you. This is KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Ontario International Airport is getting ready for a busy Christmas and New Year's travel couple of weeks. Airport officials expect 271,000 passengers to come through between tomorrow and January 4th. President Biden's at a South Carolina State University to serve as the commencement speaker at graduation. The interim president for the school says it's the first time a sitting president has been a commencement speaker in the university's 125-year history. And Spider-Man No Way Home is in theaters today. There are signs it could make as much as $375 million in its opening weekend at the global box office. We got your drive on the 405 with KFI in the sky next.
Well, you heard me talk about my friends at Sunday and how they can sell your home fast without any repairs, without the hassle of dealing with showings, realtors, cleaning, or making upgrades. Now Sunday has made the process even easier for those who want to sell a property fast. Contact Sunday for your free no-obligation cash offer. They're going to visit your property, take photos, and do a 3D walkthrough. They'll package your property details and send it to the thousands of local investors in their database who are actively looking to buy property property. The average homeowner receives 12 offers on their property. It's quick and easy. Plus, you can close in as little as 10 days, or they have the flexibility to close in months. They can even give you a $10,000 cash advance when you sell with Sunday. Go to Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com, or phone them, 800-25-OFFER. 800-25-OFFER. Get a free, no-obligation cash offer at Sunday.com, SUNDAE.com. Sunday's California licensed real estate broker, DRE license number 020-88298.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's year-end sale. Get a king bed for a queen price, or queen bed for a twin price, and save up to $500 on select mattresses from Sealy, Serta, Sleepy's, and more. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase.
SoCal weather from KFI, sunny with highs low to mid-60s. This report is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Let's take a look at your drive on the 405.
You guys are getting out of the 10th round of LA. Pretty civilized, actually. I bet you're surprised to hear that at dip around the 118. Well, a fairly good drive by Bourne Drive standards. It does throw a picture going up and over the hill, but that's about it. South 170, if you chose next coming out of the New Wall Pass, not too bad. Slow down to the split, that's for sure. Now, the one thing, if you're going to continue on the South 170 to the South 101, going up and over the hill, before you get to Universal Studios around Lancaster, you're still doing a lot of work in that bike collector lane, so that causes a little slowing. But after that, slow from Vermont. By the way, we just passed it over Union Station earlier. We were so busy. Union Station has the greatest Christmas decorations. You got to come here at night. Take a look at it. Back to two major problems now. First, the westbound Ventura Freeway. At Topanga, only one lane is open. The backup, well, it's just about to Balboa going back to the 405. All the surface streets are busy with the exception of Victory. That's still in reasonable shape. You can get on Topanga or Valley Circle, be on your way. And in Cerritos, eastbound 91 at Bloomfield. All lanes been blocked there for a long time. Fatal crash investigation. Get on the East 91 at Carmenita. You're past the problems and on your way. Boy, oh boy. Engines International. Visit SuperWomanSuperLawyer.com. Just for KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentLawyer.com.
8.5 million for motorcyclists suffering severe injury delay. From Robert Tony Esquire, results may vary. No guarantee. Automobile fail to yield in daytime accidents.
Wolverine Honda Superstore has your roadmap for a super holiday upgrade during Happy Honda Day. Return your Honda Leaf to one of our 5 Honda Leaf Return Super Centers, or swap your old ride for a brand new Honda. And with more vehicles arriving for the holidays, you'll get a super selection and a super experience. Every new Norm Reeves Honda is backed by our exclusive price protection guarantee. With Safe, if you can find the same new Honda for less within 5 days, Norm Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. Discover the joy of the season and upgrade at Norm Reeves Honda Superstore during Happy Honda Day. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reeves Honda Superstore locations in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeves.com. As for Global Home and New Vehicle Sales 2020.
When Bill and I needed new windows over 20 years ago, we picked a company we thought would do a good job. We were so disappointed.
So we saw a genuine need for a company with strong character, one that people could have faith in.
American Vision Windows was born right then and there.
The best thing about working for American Vision Windows, and with customers specifically, is having their dreams come true. And we try to accomplish the best job we can to make them happy.
It was a great experience. I couldn't have asked for anything better.
I've been in the construction trade for 35 years. The level of quality of products that they use for their prep work was top-notch.
American Vision Windows continues to revolutionize the home improvement industry, one customer at a time, while changing the lives of our employees for the better. It's so simple.
Happy employees, happy customers.
For a limited time, we pay the tax, plus 0 payments, 0 interest until 2023. Call 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com.
Tax based on materials only. On purchase of 8 or more windows cannot be combined with any other offers. On approved credit. Some restrictions apply. See website for details. Offer expires 12/31/2021. CSLB number 778-326.
Hey, Mario Lopez here, and I don't know about you, but I am stoked to get outdoors again. Dining at restaurants, watching live music. It's so great to have it all back, but with privilege comes responsibility. Make sure you're doing your part to help reduce the spread of COVID-19. Getting tested is easy at COVID Clinic. Go to covidclinic.org to book an appointment at no cost to the patient. COVID Clinic has locations conveniently located all throughout the state. So visit covidclinic.org to find the closest one to you. Again, that is covidclinic.org.
Attention savvy investors. Looking for predictable monthly cash flow? Want to reduce uncertainty? Hedge inflation and stock market risk with double-digit targeted returns? If you want the safety and security of a real estate investment, but without the hassles of being a landlord, you've probably heard of NRIA. NRIA is an industry-leading real estate development firm in its 15th year, developing strategically located, lower-risk, high-demand neighborhoods based on supply-demand imbalance. They're a great fit for safety-oriented investors who want cash flow and diversification into carefully chosen real estate. Learn more about the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund at nria.net or call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
This winter, we must all do our part to protect ourselves and loved ones from COVID-19. Getting vaccinated gives you the greatest protection against severe illness and death. And for the first time, everyone in the family ages 5 and up is eligible for the vaccine. If you are already fully vaccinated, get your booster to keep your immunity strong. Keeping each other safer is simple. Get vaccinated. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccination location near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Celebrate your favorite podcast at our iHeartRadio Podcast Awards on January 13th, including My Favorite Murder, winner of the Audible Audio Pioneer Award, celebrating the voices that are taking risks, challenging assumptions, expanding the audio art form, and taking us to places we've never been.
Audible is a proud sponsor of the Audible Audio Pioneer Awards. Listen to the best of what you love with Audible Originals, audiobooks, podcasts, and more. True crime, sci-fi, memoirs, and wellness. Audible's got something for every mood. Try it for free when you sign up at audible.com.
From 18 to 29, he spent nearly all of it in prison. He shot an 81-year-old woman in her home in the middle of the night. She's completely defenseless, completely innocent. Who's supposed to stop that? We failed the killer. We should have gotten our help.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2.
Interventions?
On KFI.
I see the snowman, he's a jolly happy soul, with a corn cob pipe and a button.
And good morning, Bill Handel here. It is a Friday morning, December 17th. Coming up at 8 o'clock, Steve Gregory promoting tomorrow's Unsolved segment, which is unique to radio, and there are podcasts all over the country that try to do what Steve does and are not very successful. And then at 9 o'clock, we have Kelly Conway, the sister of Tim Conway Jr. She just wrote a book about their dad. And then Foodie Friday. A lot of fun stuff today with Neil Saavedra, and never want to miss that. Joe Biden, as part of his infrastructure plan, is spending a $7.5 billion to build 500,000 EV charging stations across the United States. Now, it started with $15 billion for the same number of chargers, so do the math. You had $15 billion for 500,000 charging stations. Now you have $7.5 billion for the same number of charging stations. Where do you go with that? Is that possible? Well, actually, it can be done. You can build 500,000 chargers with half the budget if the Biden administration will opt for slower chargers. There are actually 3 kinds of charging devices out there. And the more expensive it is to build and install, the faster the charge is. And so the administration's plan draws on funds for the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, a bipartisan, and it prioritizes chargers that take hours now to fully charge an electric car. And that's a hard sell, because when you talk about a fully charged car, that takes a while to do that, and we're used to going to a gas station and filling up the tank in 3 minutes. So it's a different kind of mindset. And the other problem is where do you get the energy to provide electricity? So chargers get electricity to then Dispense electricity, well, if they come from coal-fired plants or natural gas-fired plants, which the vast majority are, that doesn't help the fossil fuels issue. As a matter of fact, it may make it worse. Here is the upside. People that want to make changes in the fight against climate change, all they have to do is point to their car. That is solid. Because transportation, actually, cars and trucks are one of the biggest parts of the greenhouse gas issue. Now, 3 different kinds of charging, and it depends on the type and the levels and how quick charging is. Level 1, regular 120-volt power outlet delivers power to electric cars at a 3 to 5 mile range per hour. I mean, that's glacial. At that rate, it actually would take a couple of days for most cars to go from empty to full charge. Level 2, it converts that 120-volt connection to about 240 volts, and that charges the car 10 times faster than level 1, and now you have a full battery within a few hours. Then you have level 3, fast chargers, which can literally add anywhere from 3 and usually closer to 20 miles of range per minute, which means 80% of your battery can be charged literally in the time you go to the bathroom and grab a cup of coffee at a rest stop. That's the fast charging. Tesla chargers that way. Rivian is going to have those. However, right now, the only way you can get into those chargers is to have one of their cars. Now, let's talk about, do we really need every charger to be a fast charger? Nope, you don't. Let's look at how most people actually use their cars on a regular day. People don't drive hundreds of miles every day. They're driving at home or work or running errands around town. For these people, level 2 chargers are fine. They charge their cars at home, overnight, drive to the grocery store, plug in the parking lot. And so, if you reduce the amount of charging, my friend Savo has had Teslas now for 8 years, and he has level 2 chargers at home. He goes, that's more than enough. He plugs it in at night.